welcome to yesterday's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. It's gonna be soon that I'll be like, welcome to today's General Hospital recap. The dream. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll get right into it. At the Metro Court, Ava and Scott talk. She's dealing with the Jerome business right now, I guess, just making sure financials stay where they are because Julian's not there and this, that, and the other thing. And he's going to be cleaning up her pill mess. He wants her out before Lucy shows up. Ava is nervous about this whole thing, and Scott escorts her out. Lucy comes in and sees Ava and Scott together, so she's already going to be on her guard. Scott's plan already is starting to fall apart, but it's Scott, so what do you expect? Lucy knows what Scott's up to, and she's not happy about it. Ava's left at this point. So they're sitting down and eating, and he admits it, because he kind of has to, like, what else is he gonna do? So Scott tries to make a case. You know, Lucy thinks Kiki has a right to know, so that angle's not working anymore. Then he brings up their daughter Serena and how, you know, she doesn't like drama, and how he'll tell her about the drama Lucy's causing, and Serena won't want anything to do with her. And Lucy's like, you're kidding, right? Like, you're kidding, right? So then Scott brings up Sunny and Carly's well-being, and Lucy's like, okay, now I know you're up to something, because you don't care about either of them, and if anything, you hate one of them. So Scott tries to convince her that burying this would be the right thing to do, and she's a stand-up person, and Lucy's like, you know what? You're right. I am a stand-up person, and because of Ava and the stuff she's done in her life, nobody would, like, even doubt that anything I say is true. So Lucy leaves and takes a bite of a roll and throws it at him, and I'm like, that's the most boss move I've seen in a week. Like, I'm gonna steal that. So just be careful. If you're around me and we're having an argument, I will bite a roll and throw it at you. At Perks, Sunny and Carly are finishing up talking, and Laura walks up and is like, hey! And it's like, no. Laura and Sunny sit down. He knows about the custody hearing. He isn't fond of Valentine, and he offered Dante help, and Dante said no, which isn't a big surprise. But he offers her his help, and Laura will be taking him up on it. Laura brings up her suspicions that Valentine will manipulate the court, and he'll see what his people can dig up on him. And then she tells him about Nell being the nanny, and he's like, Nell's bad news, understatement of the century, and that you don't want anything to do with her. So he says her interests come first, which is hurting Carly and her family. Laura brings up Michael and the conversation she had with him, and that he said, like, they aren't friends anymore. And Sunny says Michael has more compassion than she deserves, but Nell used Morgan's death to hurt the family, and that's something Michael's never going to get over. None of them will ever get over. So then he says his marriage may be over, and he doesn't know if he has it in him to go after Carly. But Laura says, you know, dig deep, make sure that there's nothing left before you totally give up, because if there's even a shred of anything left, like, you gotta work through it. At Liz's, Jason doesn't understand what's happening again, and he doesn't see any issue with Jake right now. So she shows him the book. Jason thinks Jake is doing better. You know, everything has been good. Parent-teacher conferences, he's been more social, this, that, and the other thing. And Franco says it's not an old wound that's being dredged up. Like, it's right below the surface, and it's starting to come out. I have, like, a piece of cat hair right on my eye, like on my eyelash, so it's like, oh. I feel like Jenna Marbles, ooh. So Jason's not happy, you know, that Franco feels he has a say in this. And Liz tells him about Jake knowing about the curse and Sam and Scout, like what he said there, and she thinks that something was triggered. And Jason's like, sure, or Franco's doing it to look like the good guy. So now Liz is getting super defensive. Jason brings up Franco's past sins, and she says she trusts him. And Jason's like, yeah, you trust him, and Jake is going to pay the price. So Jason wants Franco out of it, like, totally. And he says that, look, them, like, her, him, and a psychiatrist can deal with Jake. And Jason says that maybe Jake shouldn't spend so much time here if Franco is going to spend so much time there. And I'm like, oh, snap. So Jason says they have to come up with an arrangement. He says her relationship is her choice, and that's fine. Like, because she's like, oh, because you don't approve of me, you don't approve of my relationship. And he's like, no, you do what you want. But Jake's his business, too, you know? So yes, he has an interest in his life. And then he leaves. So now Liz is really angry. She feels Jason was accusing her of being an irresponsible mother, which I didn't hear that personally. But you know, whatever. And Franco says that they knew there would be pushback. Like, nothing happened that wasn't unexpected. Franco says Jason knows something's wrong, and that's progress. He'll never be okay with them, and I don't know if he says, and we shouldn't expect him to, but like I fill that in my mind. But they don't need his approval. Liz wants what? Oh, so she kind of wants Jason on board for Jake's sake, though. Like, she doesn't want this constant animosity. At the penthouse, Sam calls Alexis about coming over. Scout's being fussy and she needs a nap. Alexis doesn't think she can come. Sam says, we can just talk. I don't want to be alone. But Alexis is in her house opening a bottle of wine. And Sam mentions that Christina and Molly came by and mentioned AA. And then, like, she's like, oh, sorry. Like, woo, totally forgot that's where you were going. And there's someone at the door, so she has to go anyway. It's Carly. Sam offers that she can talk to her, and she says she thinks her marriage is over. Sam says she knows what's going on. Like, she did get some of the details, so she knows the basics of it. Carly feels lost, and Sam asks her what she wants. And Carly wants things back to when Morgan was alive, but she knows that can't happen. But she doesn't think Sonny wants to put their lives back together. So she understands Sonny and that it takes a lot for him to apologize. So when he does, he like expects to be forgiven. And Sam says he'll never walk away from her. He's tried to find answers in other women, including her for 5 minutes, but there isn't any, and she's the only one strong enough to be with him, and Carly wonders if she's maybe not strong enough anymore. Sam, she says maybe they can't find their way back, and she wishes they could go back, but something doesn't feel right about that, and they always wind up here no matter how much they promise they won't, which we really thought this time around they wouldn't wind up there, but then we remember we're watching a soap opera, so it's like, how are they going to wind up there? Sam says marriage is done when they stop growing. Anyone, you stop growing. And Sam, she admits that she's admired them for years and that they're so strong. And is she sure that they don't have enough to grow a little bit? At Alexis's, Alexis pours herself a glass, drinks it. She reads the letter. She holds it close to her heart. She sees Julian. And, I kind of had a feeling that she knows she kind of hallucinates when she drinks. So maybe that's why she decided to drink. Someone's at the door. She hides the liquor. It's Ava. And it's about Julian. She can't accept he's gone. She believes he's still alive. She wants to team up with Alexis, and she sits down and hears the bottle clink and finds the bottle. So Ava wants to help her because she meant a lot to Julian, but Alexis doesn't want her help. She thinks she's using Julian as an excuse to drink, and she tells Ava to get out and not come back because she honestly wants nothing to do with her. And Ava says it's a good thing Julian isn't here to see what became of his sacrifice because you're not even worth saving anymore. And then Alexis pours a drink and drinks it like right in her face, which I'm like, okay, maybe that's the most boss thing I've seen. And not that I approve of what she's done, of course. Like, it's a total front because after Ava leaves, Alexis like isn't proud of what she did. And yeah. I feel bad for her. I really do. And now end scene. Laura calls Lulu and says she knows how Nell might be useful. Carly comes over to Sunny's. They don't like how they left things, but there's a phone call. Someone's outside, and Sunny goes send her up. Jason comes home. Sam says Carly was there, and she's worried. He tells her about Jake and that there's something wrong, and he doesn't know what to do. So he was listening. He just also doesn't like Franco and doesn't want to like give in to that. Liz worries about Jason making a custody issue. She says maybe they should hold off on him moving in. Franco thinks she's just like kind of caving into what Jason wants, and ultimately he understands because it's not what she wants. Like, it's complicated. Alexis is passed out on the couch. Someone is at the door. She walks up and I'm like, $5, it's Julian. She opens the door, looks outside. We don't see the person, but in the promo she's talking to Valentine, so it's probably Valentine. Ava comes back to see Scott. Ava asks if he did it, and he's like, well, there may be a problem, because he actually did the opposite. Lucy is at Sunny's. She has something important to tell them, and she has a pill bottle in her hand, and it just occurred to me that if I watch today's, I will know what happened, and I'm actually kind of eager for that. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you sometime for tomorrow's Drama Hospital recap. Again, I'm getting the guess the date game back on track, so by the end of the week I'll have all past points and everything will be good, and I will see you later for more Drama Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!